Very good evening, friends, and this is the part 2 of our previous video. So I just place start activity for result, and then I make it intent auth code, and then here this is my overridden function, which is protected void on activity result, which has got the int request code, result code, and intent data. So now I have to check if request code is equal to auth code. So if request code is equal to auth code, and again we have to check if result code is equal to result underscore OK. So if result code is equal to result underscore OK. So if both these things are true, then we have to create object for the user, and then Firebase get instance. Now not this one, we need to create the Firebase user object. So Firebase user equals Firebase auth dot get instance dot get current user, and then with the help of the response, so log d, or we can say with the help of response, we'll just run this tag. So the log dot d, and message will be double quote on activity result plus user dot get mail, you can say, so that you can find the mail of the user, which is mail ID of the user, obviously, which is already into the system. And then if user dot get metadata dot get last sign in timestamp, if the sign in timestamp what we have faced in the latest one and is equal to the sign in time constant when it was created, if these two matches, it means this is the new user and he has just freshly signed up and trying to get into the system. So it goes like, if user dot get metadata dot, this one we have to change, it should be get create, means when it was created that timestamp. So get creation timestamp equal user dot get metadata dot get last sign in timestamp. Then I'll run a toast. So the toast dot make this get application context and the message that the welcome new user, because the get creation timestamp and the get last sign in timestamp are same. It means the user just created the timestamp and he just signed into the system. So it means this is the new user. So we write welcome new user. Now if it is not there, it means the user is, maybe if it is not same, it means the user is again trying to get back into the system, but he is not new user, but he is coming again. So just you can write welcome again, means the user has visited the system or has entered into the system in past and he is trying to come again. So this is the true condition. Now here we need to create one intent, that intent equals new intent this comma, then if everything is fine, then the user should get into the main activity dot class, and then start in activity and then pass this intent to this, yes, and then you just finish it. So write this dot finish, or you can simply write finish. So if the user presses the back button, then this feature will manage it. Else, the else part of the first if. So I create one object of the ID response, IDP response. So IDP response is IDP response from result intent, and then we'll pass the data, and then from here we will check if response equals null. it means user has cancelled the mechanism, or his user is just cancel the request for sign in. So you write request cancelled. Otherwise, there is some error from the Firebase itself. So we write else, and then here, okay. So this is Firebase error, and then when user if tries to, like, we have another button which is logout process. If user enters or clicks on that button, then we have to let the user get out of the system. So firebase.auth get instance sign out, this is done. So now we are kind of ready, just we need to enable the phone builders and the Google sign up. So first I have to go to the Firebase, and yes, here this is get started Firebase, and I go into my application, that is Firebase application. So this is my Firebase application, and inside this I go to the authentication, and I have only enabled email in the password, but I have yet to enable the other two features, which is Google and the mobile. So just go click on the sign in method, and there you see that I have only emailed in password. Now email the phone enable, then I have to register my phone number. So just I entered one dummy number, my country code is +91, and just I enter a 10-digit random number. This is not anybody's phone number. So 70456082257, and then the verification code I write it as 123456, add, and then this test phone number is added to the system, and then we can click on the save. Then again we have to go back and enable this Google option. This is already disabled, so the click on this Google, just click on that enable first, this one, and then just enter a project support email ID which I have entered, and then click on save. So these two features I have enabled, so it means all my three features like the email, password, Google, and the phone are enabled. So now I simply minimize this and try to get back into the system, try to run it and see whether the what kind of interface it has been created and what kind of services it is offering. So let me run the system. Then since this is the first time we are running the system, it means there is no user logged in definitely, so we'll not go directly to the main activity, but we'll go directly to the login activity, obviously, because this is the first, this is the fresh running. So here it is the login activity, and on this you see two buttons are there. Let me click on this login. Then there you see that yes, this is the Firebase UI, and it has offered us three buttons where we can sign in with the email password. This is the email password. I just entered this email password which is already connected to the system, and then let's see. So this is asking for the first name and last name is already included. Then I'm just entering a random password there, and then I try to get into the system, save. So this is where the sign up is creating the user there, and this user will automatically be added to the Firebase, which is a runtime system. Now I'm coming back to the main activity. Now let me come back to the Firebase, and there you can see whether the user has been registered or not, or a new user has been created with that particular email ID or not. So now here I am, and then there you see I go back into the Firebase application, and then I try to click on this authentication, and then the user, there you may find yes. So now see that this user has already been created. So now I have to, because now this is the main activity, so if I try to get back I cannot go anywhere because the user is already in the system. Now let me delete this one, because otherwise next time it will be already entered, so it will just represent the main activity. So I have deleted the user, and then I try to rerun the application again, and then I will just show you that how we can log in with the other features, which are the phone and the Google. So this is again, try to press login, and this time I'm going to click the sign in with Google. So again, you see a new sign up will be created automatically. This is same ID, it is already attached with the system. So now I click onto this, and then the Firebase application is running, and then again it will create another user with the same name, obviously. But how you can identify whether this email is, because you will find, yes, so welcome new user. Now let me get you back to the Firebase. There you can see, yes, the new user, the same email ID, but the icon might have been changed to Google. So now here authentication, and then here you see that here I click on this user, and then you see this is Google icon provider. It means this user has already been created. Now I'll delete this one also, and I will take you back to the application where you can see how we can run with the mobile phone.